Hello, people. It's your boy Usmaan back again with another Manchester United match preview. Sorry, we're slightly late. Obviously, bet you straight in the comments.
My fault.
As always, get your comments in. Make sure you drop a like. Subscribe to the channel. We're about 18 subs off 900. There's better than watching the content. Just sub, it's free. Anyways, that's aside. Before we get into it, make sure you check out the link in the description where we did a preview on West Ham Fan TV, myself, Kojo, and Lawless. We recorded that on Wednesday. Few things have changed since that day, which we will touch upon. Obviously, Man United losing being one of the factors, and the second thing, a couple of injuries from both sides, which will obviously change some perspective going to that game. So before we even start, if you said this on their channel, listen, things can change in 2 days, okay?
Go back and see Kojo's confidence. Don't
go back and see anything.
Yeah,
There's no need.
Listen,
there's no need.
Go check that out as well. Obviously, Kojo's saying certain scoreline that, you can watch that as well, check out. But listen, we are joined, as always. You saw yesterday, me and Kojo sat back, relaxed. If you haven't seen it, go and watch it, because it was a North London Derby special. Me and Kojo enjoyed that way too much. But yeah, Kojo, how you doing, brother?
I'm feeling great, man. Yesterday was absolutely hilarious. So I've been on a high ever since. So I'm feeling great. How you doing?
I'm good, man. Honestly, guys, we just had Benji clip up some of the content. And I just watched some of the stuff back with oh my God, the Fanyang comment and Fuad ripping into Arsenal as well. It just cracked me up, and no one was holding back, so I loved it. But listen, we've also got a regular. But to you, if you don't watch the Lawless Fan podcast, he's a special guest, the man from West Ham TV, the man who the only man who defends Sebastian Haller. It's Lawless. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm good. You know what? Yeah, you're doing the same thing that like TalkSport and them do. They always say West Ham TV. That's that. Listen, you get us confused with the official account. Yeah, West Ham TV is the official account. It puts out dead content. They put out dead content.
Yeah, listen.
Don't associate us with them.
All right, fair enough. Listen, West Ham Fan TV, like I said, the link is in the description. Listen, it is what it is. We're going to talk Manchester United, West Ham. There's only one place to start. As I've already mentioned, the major things that have changed is the injuries. One for Man United, obviously the performance, which I'm sure Lawless will mention at some point. Rashford getting injured for Man United. But the one injury that Lawless was saying, if this happens, and he's just clipped it, I've just seen on his Twitter as well, if this happens, it's on Moyes. And it's happened. Antonio's injured. Speak to me, Dad. What are you saying for that?
Jeez. Do you know what? Yeah. And this goes back to what we were just saying about things that were said on my channel, right, with you guys, that might change today. And I was praising Moyes on my channel. Now I'm going to go the other way.
Everyone's going to think I have to watch it both, honestly.
No, like, this is the thing. I give Moyes credit when he has earned it, right? In place when he earns it. Now he has earned massive criticism because he's an absolute idiot. He's an idiot. Like, I'm sorry. Like, what are you thinking? Like, this is...
Yes!
Anyone can see this. I was sitting there. You have Sebastian Haller against flipping... What was it the week before? Sheffield United, right? Had a great performance, scored a banger, right? So you're like,
before as well. Even though
good, yeah, exactly. He got himself about before. He came close a few times. He's getting into the groove of things, right? So you think, cool. Antonio's coming back from injury. Yeah, you don't start him. Keep Antonio, build him up, get him, more adjusted into the squad. And we got these new players around him, and he can just get into the flow of things, back into the Premier League, because he ain't been really getting much minutes. So we're like, cool. And then you have Antonio there on the bench as an option if you need him, depending on how he is. Then it comes to the game, and it's like Antonio straight back in, Haller's dropped to the bench, and you're like, I'm just like, honestly, I was fuming at the time. I was just like, what? For two reasons. One, it's a bad man management of Haller, and two, like, it was so obvious to see with Antonio's injury history. It's happened so many times. We've been rushed back. It's a hamstring injury.
He always gets injured as well. That's the thing with the
injury. He's got hamstring. It's hamstring problems. So you're telling me that he has a hamstring injury a few weeks ago, doesn't play any football for like a month, and he goes straight back into the starting lineup against Aston Villa, who have been quite a sort of high energy team. So you know how it's going to go. Yeah. And you could see on the pitch he was not right. He was not right. This is a guy who's known for pace. The pace was not there. And if that's how he is on the pitch, What was he showing in training? Like, I don't understand how he makes it. It's on the medical team. It's on Moyes. Honestly, I don't care. Some people are coming at me saying, "Oh yeah, now you want to criticize Moyes." I'm telling you, he's earned it, and he has to take that because he was so quick, so excited to drop Allaire and flipping put Antonio in. Now we're hearing he doesn't rate Allaire. And listen, there's a lot of players when you hear, and you guys probably know yourselves, the players that he doesn't rate and the type of players that they tend to be. Yeah. James Maddison.
Yeah, no, listen, regarding the Allaire treatment, first and foremost, right, I've just got to throw this in there. In terms of man management and his psychological aspect of a player, you finally score. You know, you've been under a lot of pressure, as you mentioned. You're one of the very few. I know, obviously from talking to you regularly, that you're one of the very few West Ham fans defending him against a lot of other West Ham fans that don't want him in the team for whatever reason. And he scores. You know, he scores the all-important goal against Sheffield United. You know, gets him the 3 points at the end of the day. And then you got a player like Antonio, very similar to Harry Kane to an extent that you can't rush these people back. When they come back from injury, they're very rusty. You know, obviously, you see with Harry Kane in particular, he always gets rushed back. And half the time, he doesn't even play good in those games because he can't perform. The similar things happened to Antonio. You can tell he was scared to aggravate the injury when he was not running full throttle. It was so evident with hamstring injuries, right? Because one of my mates, he's a runner, and he was an Olympic runner for GB and stuff, and his major injury was his hamstrings. He always said to me in training, after I got a hamstring injury, I'm scared because I know if I go full pelt, I'm gonna tear it again. If I tear it again, I'm back. I
tell you, I had this conversation about a year ago. Chris Akabusi is a big West Ham fan, right? And obviously a legend in the running game, massive legend. So I was having this big debate ages ago, like years ago, about Antonio and how we're managing these injuries. He's like, I'm telling you, he's like, honestly, that plays a big factor. And obviously his weight was playing a factor. Antonio was putting on a lot of weight at the time. And like, so people can see, like, you've got someone there who's outside of the football world in Akabusi, but obviously knows his stuff on that. You got a fan, like, we can see it. Why can't the club ever see it? Why can't the manager? It's not even just Moyes, other managers have done it.
That just comes down to desperation. Honestly, there's two factors. Desperation being one of them, and the second factor being he don't trust Haller. Simple as that. Because if you trust him, like, for example, let's just say with my United situation as an example, just say we got Rashford who's currently potentially injured. Realistically, he shouldn't play this game. He should just bring Greenwood in because Greenwood can do the job. He probably won't because for whatever reason he don't trust Greenwood and Martial at the moment. You know, I'm sure we'll touch on Martial. His form has been absolutely woeful in the last couple of months. So there might be a case that Martial's on the bench and you see Rashford playing when Rashford's gone off injured. Rashford shouldn't be playing this game. We had a case where Wan-Bissaka went off injured in the Champions League game. He played, but everyone's like, "Oh, we're not sure if he's going to play." He didn't trust Williams. It comes down to managers; they don't trust him. Moyes obviously doesn't trust Allaire.
We won 2 games back to back without Antonio and with Allaire starting.
But that's the frustrating thing. Like, it was,
and then we won the third with.
All you had to do was give him a 20-30-minute cameo in the Sheffield United game. Obviously, not the Sheffield United game, so the game after.
Aston Villa,
Aston Villa, so apologies. Yeah, so you just have to give him a cameo in that one. Just get him a bit up to speed, and then the Man United game potentially could start. But now he's going to be out for another 2 weeks because if it's a recurring injury. Kojo, what are your thoughts, obviously, on the man management there? And also, how much of a blow is this to West Ham from our perspective?
Well, me and you personally know firsthand how bad his man management is. We've seen it ourselves, and nothing's changed. It didn't change at Sociedad, it didn't change at Sunderland, it ain't changing here as well. You guys were mentioning Haller, and I don't know why he hasn't given Haller much time because Haller's.
I don't know if one of you's got a TV in the background, but it's very loud.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, Haller has completed 90 minutes twice in the league this year, which is appalling, and he scored in one of them. Other than that, he's been given maybe 5-minute cameos, 20 minutes here and there in games where they were either out of it or he could have little to no impact. But when he's played in the cup games, he scored. So now, if Antonio is not fit, which he isn't, you rushed him back from an injury which has been out for a while. Why on earth would you rush him back straight away for a game that he really didn't need to start in the first place?
Aston Villa, man, they can beat Aston Villa without him, man. Come on.
Exactly. Yeah. So, the fact is that's him in a nutshell. Pardon?
You know what I mean? We showed it that basically Antonio just didn't add to the game at all. He was like non-existent, and Allaire was a big force in that game. So
Exactly. So it doesn't make sense. But like I said, me, you've seen that before. I mean, there were some baffling decisions he made at United. It took us until November, December in this season to get 2 wins in a row, because his decision making in those games and on selections were also quite awful. So nothing's changed. And Antonio, if he's out for a long time again, Haller, I do believe in Haller, but Antonio also is. I fit Antonio 100%. Antonio is one hell of a problem, and we were seeing that last season.
It's a huge positive for us, isn't it? Really, in terms of
huge, because I was saying beforehand that he would obviously, any smart player would target the weaker defender, and the weaker defender's Lindelof. And when he's going back their strengths and weaknesses, he will kill Lindelof. Quite frankly, you're quite simply beat him. Haller can do the same thing, and I think Haller's a lot more technically gifted than him, so it works in a different way. But sometimes
his confidence is going to be on the floor now, though, isn't it? Let's be real. Like you've just scored your first goal, as you mentioned. He's only had 2 90 minutes. He's finally scored, right? I know he scored prior, but he scored with the start eventually, and then he just gets benched. Like, do you know what I mean? And now he's like, "Oh wait, shit, we need you again. Come back." It's like, come on, man, you're taking the piss. Like, really?
That's probably why he doesn't celebrate when he scores.
That's a slap in the face, really, isn't it?
He's like, "Well, I'm gonna get benched anyway, so what's the point?"
Legit, man.
Yeah.
Oh God. But listen, let's talk about Rashford. Very similar topic in terms of his injury. Rashford again, another player who's been injured for a long time now. I know he's been playing through the pain barrier. We've got a comment here from the United way saying so many managers in the Prem are desperate as their jobs are always on the line, therefore they play their players even through the pain barrier.
And that's how players get ruined. That's how players get ruined.
That's what happened to Rooney. Do you know what I mean? Rooney's career got cut short because of the way he was man-managed, because, Sir Alex didn't look after him, so to speak. We kind of seen that with Rashford as well, aren't we? Because if Rashford plays this weekend, realistically, it's just the same thing, isn't it? We're just expecting him to get injured also.
Well, he had a back injury last season as well, and it was quite bad. His back injury, but he was getting played through the pain as well. Yeah. So that's another thing from our manager that's not good. And if the guy has a shoulder injury, you got to try and not play him in games that you should be trying to win. Now, obviously, Southampton, they were in form. They were better than us prior to that game. So obviously, I understand him playing that game, but I'm going to be honest, and I know PSG are a very good footballing side, but in a game where you need a point, maybe sometimes don't risk him or don't play him for a whole attempted 90 minutes. It was
but I said not to play him on the preview, and I got blasted by everyone. Everyone said, "Oh, Rashford has to play. Rashford."
Because
I was the only person that didn't put him in the team, right? Of everyone I've seen on all the previews, all the other lads that do previews, and everyone was like, "How do you not got Rashford in the team?" I was like, "He can't. He's gonna get injured." And I was even that he needs a rest. And then I was like, no, Rashford, Martial's off. Obviously, Martial's sure he's off form.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened to me with Antonio. You got to play your best team.
Legit, man. And I was like, yo, I don't know about Rashford. Like, for me personally, coming into this game now, Coach, you just mentioned PSG. I want to hear what Lawless is going to say on the PSG game. But just coming on you, do you think Rashford's going to start this game, realistically speaking? Because I can't see him not starting this game, to be honest.
No, yeah, he's 100% starting this game, because literally before we came on, my Man United app gave me a nice notification with Ole with optimistic news about his injury, which means he'll be all right. We've tested him and he's able to move his shoulder up and down, try to do dance moves and that. So he's good. So they're gonna play him.
He's doing the Arsenal fans.
Yeah, in it, the Aubameyang thing. So he's gonna get injured again. The 70th minute, it's gonna be the same old thing. You know what's gonna happen? The same old nonsense from Ole. So I would rest him, but he's gonna play.
Yeah, he's gonna play. Listen, Lawless, obviously we spoke prior to the PSG game. Man United losing 3-1. Is there anything from that game that you looked at, if you watched the highlights, of course, and you watched it? So, you know what? These guys are shit. They're never taking. Is that giving you more confidence, obviously, watching us lose to PSG as well?
Yeah, I mean, the big thing I took away, and the big thing I was like, was Usmaan's meltdown on Twitter the other day after the game. It was beautiful. He was going for everyone.
Keep going.
Oh, man. He was talking about Martial. He obviously coming for all the Martial haters. He was coming for Oli.
I was so pissed, honest to God, I was fuming.
You was on one yesterday. It was full Twitter rant. It was beautiful.
Yo, you know how many people were arguing me over Martial? I swear to God, my mentions were full of like, oh, Martial this, Martial that. But listen, I had to back the homie, and like, honest to God, yesterday I've never been so angry in my life, because the more you play it back, the more you realize how fucking annoying it is. If he just scores a tap in, we're through and we've won the group. Now we've actually won the group as well. So like the narrative of, obviously, you know, I'm Ollie out as well, but the narrative of Man United, this horrendous team, and I heard commentators. I think I got so triggered. The commentator had the audacity to say that it was a good PSG performance, and everyone was bigging up Neymar like he had a world. I don't even know what Neymar did in that game. I know he scored 2 goals. One was a tap in. The other one, fair play to him. De Gea should have saved him, I opinion, but it is what it is. But like in general, like we threw the game, so that's why I was so angry. Like
sometimes I think it's guesswork with some commentators. I don't fully watch the game, and they must be like on their phone or something. And they go, "Oh yeah, Neymar."
Towards the end of the game, Colin, I don't know if you had BT on as well. They were proper giving PSG plaudits, fantastic performance by PSG, to completely disregard the 3 1-on-1s we missed and the open net. Like, you know what I mean? We should have been outside.
The Fred thing, though, that was the mad thing for me. Like, obviously, he should have went. Like, he should have got a red
100%.
easily. He got away with one there, but you could see that a second yellow was coming, and the ref probably knew that he probably was a bit lenient. Afterwards, he's probably thinking, you know what, like. he was probably thinking like, yeah, maybe, do you know what, maybe I was a bit lenient, the ref. And you're thinking like, it's not going to take a lot for him to actually produce that second yellow. And then, you know, and ultimately the second yellow is some people might debate whether it was a yellow or whatever, but it's because I think that decision in the ref probably played in the back of his mind and thinking, do you know what, I was soft on him there because that was a headbutt. So really he should have been subbed off. Like he was kept on way too long, and you know, you could have went on to win the game if that one decision, and it might not, you know, you still could have lost, but still, you probably would have had a better chance. You would have had 11 men and a better chance of actually winning that game. So, yeah, poor game management by Ollie.
100%. We got Prince. Obviously, I'm assuming you must be an Arsenal fan, innit? But it's all good. I was arguing with Arsenal fans, right? On Twitter, and I thought about it. I thought, why am I even wasting my time? You man's are in the relegation battle. If you lose to Spurs, you're way below us. It's not even worth my time.
But they beat Ride VAR or whatever the hell they were called.
To be Rapid Vienna.
Rapid Vienna, yeah.
Oh my God! Listen, at the end of the day, you found your level in it. So fair play to you guys. But Coach, speaking of Fred, actually, which is a very good point. Fred, the biggest head loss I've seen in a United player in a while. To be fair. It was a massive head loss from Fred. Do you think he plays this game? Because, like, for me personally, it'd be interesting to see what his mindset is now. Because normally he'd be the first name or one of the first names on the team sheet, but because of he's practically headbutted someone, isn't it? Really, a 2 days ago, is it a matter of you take him out, or do you think? Obviously, he plays again. Abdullah, by the way, saying, as a West Ham fan, I'm Ollie in.
Yeah. Abdullah comments on our channel regularly. He usually talks sense.
Oh, okay. All right. Coach, what do you reckon, bro? What do you reckon? Does Fred play you this game, or do you protect him and pull him out? It's a hard one now, isn't it, really?
He's going to start. If Fred starts, the only one I want next to him is Donny van de Beek. It's very simple for me. That's the only way I want him to start, because Donny van de Beek is a lot more of a calming influence in that midfield. I don't think McTominay is a calming influence. Next to him, I think also when McTominay can get a bit hot-headed, he can also lose his rag a little bit as well. He's got that in him; you can see it.
They were both looking to get sent off that game, man.
Exactly. The thing about Fred is, I don't know if you remember, Neymar. The ball went away from Neymar. He passed the ball away from Neymar, and Neymar decided to take him out anyway. And then Neymar got on talking to. He didn't get a yellow card. He got on talking to, but you can see Fred was so pissed. You'll see him in the field.
Neymar was like hugging him, sarcastically hugging him, and like
exactly. So you knew even that. You knew that he was hot-headed. But the thing is, at the end of the game, Ole didn't really address the fact that he was lucky to be on. Maguire did, but Ole didn't say anything about it. So I feel like Ole's going to put him back in the team anyway. So if he's back in, you need someone like Donny van de Beek. Not only because even when he came off the bench against PSG, like, the way he was keeping the ball so well, doubled up on and just beating players, but also the fact that you need someone that's going to tell him, relax, just take it easy, you know.
Yeah.
They're
He's
trying to
very
piss him off.
reckless, isn't he?
Yeah, you're on a yellow card right now. The one thing you don't need to do is get a red card again, because I'm telling you right now, bro, if he gets a red card again,
Oh my! No, if you get sent off against West Ham, on the watch along, I'm gonna lose. I lost my shit so, but I didn't even clip it. But I was so angry when he got sent off. Ollie, Fred, I was like, "What is this game? Like, how are we losing 2-1, and how are we down to 10 minutes?"
It's such a shame Antonio's not playing because he can wind people up.
exactly.
God,
We've seen it with Pogba. He was on Grealish. Well, he was offering Grealish for fights the other day. But he would. We need someone. We need to get a player. Moyes needs to go right. See that, Fred? I want you to get there. I want you to go in there, talk about his mum, whatever, yeah, and just like make him lose his head.
You have to do that. This is what I mean. A lot of people, slagging off Neymar regarding him theatrically diving or whatnot. Look, Neymar. Look, I've always loved Neymar. I don't like when he does it too much. But in that instance, he's got to do what he's got to do to win the game for his team. And by all means, if it means get Fred sent off, they get him sent off. Like, at the end of the day, he did his job. He won the game for his team, so fair play to him. But just coming back to our game, Lawless, in terms of Man United's threats, we didn't really speak about much from your perspective. It was more from our perspective. In terms of our threats going forward, we know defensively, we're susceptible to some form of attack. But going forward, is there anyone in particular that you're worried about? Of course, Martial currently is not in the greatest of form, so I'm assuming you're not going to mention him. But in terms of anyone else, what are your thoughts in terms of what we got going forward?
Obviously Fernandez is the main man right now. He's the danger man. Look,
how do you stop him? In West Ham's team, who's going to stop Fernandez from playing?
I mean, it's probably a combo of having Ogbonna and Creswell. I think trying to keep him quiet. I think Ogbonna usually keeps his head quite well. I think hopefully they can sign us when, like I said with the other day with Creswell, is the amount of fouls that he's given away in the league is very low. It was 0 before the Villa game, before we was playing against a team of divers. Yeah, exactly. Dean really started throwing himself all over the pitch. So that is big because, as we know, like Bruno Fernandes wins those penalties. He takes the penalties. That is the guy to watch out for in the box. So we don't want to be giving away no penalties, but I just want to know, that I want you to know that Fabianski is the guy to get in the people's heads, because we've had 2 players step up to take penalties and they've both bottled it big time, right? We had Lookman and then we had the flipping I can't remember who took. Yeah, we had the one from the Villa one as well where it hit the crossbar.
Yeah.
Where like Benrahma. Watkins, that was it. Where Benrahma put him off by telling Fredericks, like, hey, he goes that way. He's like, he was going that way, and then he's like, I'm not going to go that way. Bing. So it's going to be interesting to see if you guys can bottle the penalties. I love
how we actually talking about the penalties like it's a foregone conclusion with us.
Yeah,
like,
it kind of.
It's an actual thing.
It kind of is. Cavani's the other thing. I don't know whether I heard he was a doubt.
Cavani's playing. He's playing. Yeah,
he's playing. They haven't even suspended him at all.
He's actually
gone quiet.
Suspension.
It's gone quiet completely.
He's actually not getting the ban.
All right, cool. If he scores, then just know that like it shouldn't count and it's an injustice.
Oh no, I'll celebrate. I'll make sure I'll give you the whole thing and that. I mean, I'll do it straight down the lens on it just for you, my brother.
No, we need one of our players to leave one on him because he's old. So like, there's a chance we could. I mean, I don't want to injure him permanently. I just want to give him something to think about and scare him a bit, and maybe have to come off because
Cavani's movement is elite. Though. Listen, we're going to talk about Cavani very shortly. Benji, what a legend. 9 people watching. Smash the like. Subscribe to the channel. Obviously, show love to the boys. Koji, let's talk about Cavani. It's quite evident he's going to play. We don't know who the front 3 is. I'll be curious to know what you would go. Martial, as we've spoken about in the chat, as Lawless has already referred to, I defended him. Like a madman on Twitter, like he's my son or something. But honest to God, I was getting vexed for no reason. So people weren't even saying anything bad about him. But yeah, Koji, listen, what are your thoughts, man? In terms of Cavani and the front 3, what are you going for? Do you change it after watching that PSG game, or are you going for something similar?
Cavani will have to be obviously the main man in the middle. The thing is, Rashford is injured, so I don't want him to start. But then who else starts on that right side? Because
I'd say Greenwood, man. I know it's one of the comments has put it as well. I think Greenwood, I don't think they're going to pay much notice to him because everyone's going to be focused on Cavani. His movement might create space for Greenwood. They're not playing together, have they? So
that's
Cavani
what I'm
drags a
thinking.
lot of players away, man. Greenwood in a
That's
bit of space.
yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right. But my worry is Greenwood likes to get the ball to feet so much that I'm just not sure whether the link up would work well. Like Rashford's
Yeah.
aim on the right side was to beat players on the right side to go and find Cavani.
Yeah.
Like he was doing that a lot. So, and then when we got desperate for a goal, that's when Rashford started cutting in. I feel like Greenwood is just gonna naturally want to cut in because he's naturally number nine. He's not a winger by trade. So if Greenwood starts, if they can get some sort of link up going, I'll be very happy. The good thing about Cavani is Cavani's all-round play is actually very good as well. So he can maybe find him in positions, maybe play some dummies with him, 1-2 link up. That could work. On the left side, quite frankly and quite simply, the only other option we have there is DJ, and I don't want to see DJ.
What?
So,
Dude, you're dropping Martial for flipping that day.
No, I said I don't want to see DJ.
Oh my god!
I said I don't want to see him.
You see how edgy he is over Martial. See how edgy he is.
I need Martial to score this weekend, Lawless. You don't understand. I'm dying coming in. The way my mum was dying for Auburn yesterday, I'm dying for Martial this year.
Do you know what I need? This is what I need, right? West Ham are winning 2-1, right? Similar to that Villa game, right? It comes down to 93rd minute. Martial scores a banger like you have never seen. Then all of a sudden, like Usman's losing his mind. He's going crazy. He's like, yeah. Then all of a sudden, wait a minute, what's going on? VAR. Check. No goal. Decision, no goal. Offside.
Oh god, just know if Martial scores, I'm gonna lose my shit. Even if it's a dodgy tap in, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I'm celebrating. But listen, in terms of what Cole just said, Lawless, I agree with you, Cole. To be honest, Cavani obviously has to start. Martial has to start on the left wing because, well, like you mentioned, we've got unless my boy Jay Lings comes back, we don't know about that one. But on the right wing, I don't want Rashford to start, so I'm just going to say Greenwood. Obviously Creswell's going to be there, isn't he? He does like getting forward, Creswell. So he plays well against this Creswell, to be fair. But I'm going to slag him off and say he's going to get ruined. But Greenwood, that step over kills anyone. But yeah, I personally got Greenwood and put Rashford on bench. I don't think that's going to happen. Lawless, what do you reckon in terms of what we've mentioned regarding our attacking line? You've already spoken about Bruno being the main man. What are your thoughts on our midfield in general? Like Pogba, Van de Beek, potentially Van de Beek playing. How are you going to stop us playing in the midfield? Because there's a lot of people saying if you stop Bruno, you've won. But I personally don't agree with that comment. I think we're a bit more than Bruno with Van de Beek in that team as well.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't got to see too much of Van der Beek. Really, I know there was a bit of obviously a controversy about him not getting much time. Yeah, I need Haller to score as well.
Yeah, I know. We're basically tuning for that one player.
Yeah, I need that. But yeah, do you know what I mean? I know there was a controversy about him not getting much minutes. So I don't know if we're going to see him at his full capabilities. Pogba, he's getting a lot of stick. We're not seeing prime Pogba at the moment. Yeah. And we've obviously got the likes of Souček. I was going to say Saka. They got Saka. No, Souček and Declan Rice. And Declan Rice.
We've not mentioned Rice at all.
Yeah.
How important is he going to be in this game?
Yeah, he'll be key.
In similar place to Bruno, obviously.
Yeah, exactly. And I think he'll be key because he is someone. He's so intelligent. He's so calm on the ball. Like when he puts them tackles in, they're just the smoothest tackles you'll ever see. He's never any doubt that he's gonna actually commit a foul. He just takes that ball and then will run with it. So I think
all the way to Chelsea, innit?
Yeah, well, listen, mate. They need after what I see with Abraham, they need more than flipping Rice. They should save that money from Rice and spend it on a striker.
Yeah, that's true. Look again, another person that I don't want to see Noble. I told you, man. United fans don't like Noble. That Print always plays good against us. Man. I don't know why.
He might come off the bench. He might come off the bench.
He's not gonna play. He played number 10 against us last time, didn't he? I don't know why. He was pressing from number 10. That was a bit of a weird one. But listen, let's just go through the lineups and then also we'll wrap it up with the score picture. See if Kojo has changed his mind. There's a few different circumstances, of course. The last being one of them. We kind of went through the lineup on your channel, so I don't want to go into too much detail. But in terms of your attacking threat, Lawless, where do you think you're going to hurt us?
Yeah, I mean, again, it all depends on what Moyes is going to do. We're screaming for Ben Rama to start. We're screaming Ben Rama has to start this game. I like. Listen, I like Fornals, and I would play Fornals against the real tough teams. No disrespect to Man United, but like if it was Man United like 8 years ago, I'd play Fornals. Man United today, Ben Rama. Like, I'm not.
Just because you said that, I'm fucking changing the whole team.
I'm
changing the whole thing.
Whoa.
I'm changing all of it.
I'm just listen. I've got to be real. This is
fair.
9th place Man United. Yeah. I have to play Ben Rama. Like I feel like we should go for this a bit. Like not like the same like with Liverpool or Man City.
I genuinely want you to go for it because if you sit back, every time you lot score first and sit back, we never break you down. Like the amount of games that we've seen against West Ham.
Yeah.
No, I saw one of the first comments. West Ham are main that Boga team. You always seem to frustrate us. Like I don't know what it is.
I mean, I don't want us to sit there and go for it the whole game. Do you know what I mean? Like where we try and build up a sustained amount of attack, but pick our spots, pick our moments, and have them moments and really take advantage. And if you've got Ben Rama on with Allaire, I think that's where you just get such a good threat because you've got someone like Allaire is, regardless of what people say, is a good finisher. Give him the service, and he's a good finisher. And I think Ben Rama will give him that that service. So back five.
Who plays in? Yeah, go through your team. Actually, I was just about to ask you.
Yeah, no, I was just going to say that we did play with a back four when Ben Rama and Allaire came on. But I think we should stick with the back five. You know, so we play Masuaku, Creswell, Ogbonna, Balbuena, Soufal, Rice, Souček. Then we'll swap out Fornals for Ben Rama. Then we'll have Bowen in there on the right hand side, and we have Haller, right? So that's the team. Like Bowen stepped up because he had an awful game against Sheffield United. He stepped up. Obviously, he got the goal. He made himself much more of a threat. I think that's the team. I think with that team, I think we can really cause Man United problems, but have that same defensive solidity that we have had. Like we haven't conceded a goal. Oh no, before that we hadn't conceded a goal like 2 games, 2 back-to-back clean sheets. Our actual defensive record is good. Apart from Tottenham, we haven't conceded more than 2 goals in a game, and most games it's been about 1 on average. So defensively, we're sound. I'm not too concerned with our defense. We just need someone like Ben Rama to get the creativity and put De Gea under as much pressure as possible because he's got some mistakes in him.
My concern is and obviously I mentioned on your guys' preview as well. Him from deliveries, he doesn't come and collect anything. Ogbonna and Souček are an absolute Haller as well, obviously because of his height, and he's very good in the air, anyways. Them three,
even Balbuena, like he's a big unit.
Yeah, exactly. You got Bowen, you got Creswell for quality delivery. Ben Rama's got quality delivery from wide areas. So De Gea is not going to come and collect anything. So our defense needs to win a job. Listen, Coach, I'm going to come to you quickly, just regarding your team, because I've actually just listened to what I said, and I'm going to change what I've said because I'm actually going to go back. I'm changing the formation. Coach, listen, what are you going for in terms of your lineup, and then we'll finish it.
Go for 4-2-3-1. The back line, we already know where it's going. De Gea obviously in goal. Telles, Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire. Because I know if Fred's going to start, it has to be Fred and Donny van de Beek. I think Beek is the perfect player to go against Souček. I think the way Souček presses is really good, but if there's someone that can break the press, get past him with his dribbling, get the ball from him, it is Donny van de Beek. I feel like someone like McTominay will be too safe. So would Matic as well. They'll be too safe or maybe make 1 or 2 mistakes. And Souček is a danger. For someone that's a DM, his goal return is actually not that bad.
It's a problem.
Yeah, big problem. Bruno, obviously, number 10. And the front three, the guy who should not be available, but is available anyway, Cavani. I'll go with Mason Greenwood, and I will go with Anthony Martial on the other side.
Oh, so it's changed his mind. No, listen, I've changed formation. Rashford's going to start, right? Whatever I say right now is not going to happen. This is what I would do, okay? I know it's not going to happen. I'm going to go for the diamond, right? The reason being, I think we've got enough quality in this midfield to play you off the park. So I'm going to the back 4, back 5 is the exact same minute as the last game. So Telles, Lindelof, Maguire, and Wan-Bissaka, and obviously David in there. Defense, DM, Matic has to be Matic for me this game. I don't think they've got that much pace in terms of middle of the park, but they've got a lot of physicality. Rice loves the challenge. He loves the battle. Suchek, obviously, because of his height, we need to somehow listen. We can't. I wouldn't even put Fred in anyway because he got sent off, so he can sit on the bench for me personally. I've got Matic, and obviously in the bottom of the diamond, left centre mid, fucking Paul Labile Pogba.
Are you bringing him back here?
I'm bringing him back. I don't give a shit what anyone says about the guy. Yeah, listen, he's got quality in abundance. Again, physicality, he's got that in abundance as well. We're going to need that for this game. It's always a physical game against West Ham. As I mentioned, from deliveries, they're going to kill us. Yes, Pogba is suspect defensively, but we need his eye. Right centre mid, the best counter press player in the league. Well, I'm just trying shit. But in terms of Man United, Donny van der Beek, 100%. Pogba, Van der Beek, control the midfield. Matic sits behind them. Man just sweeps up the thing. In terms of your midfield, you haven't got that much. Who's playing in your number 10? Sorry, have you got Lawless? Have you got someone in number 10?
Yeah, I mean, I would like to see Benrahma in that slot. I mean, what we've been, he would play the way we've been playing is we haven't been playing like an out and out number 10. We've had Fornals who's sort of been playing as a winger but floating inwards, like drifting in. So he's been playing a sort of a more of a free role rather than a traditional winger. So you could probably have Benrahma in that role, but actually provide more creativity.
Yeah. So I'm expecting it not to be Benrahma. I'm expecting to go a bit safe. I'm thinking it's going to be Suchek, obviously Rice. So you're going to have two DMs or defensive players by nature. So I think Pogba, Van der Beek, Matic for me will do a job on them. And in front of him, obviously Bruno. Like that midfield four complement each other perfectly. They all give something different to the game. You know, Pogba's got ability box to box. So Van der Beek got a lot of energy. Get him to press like we did against RB Leipzig and play the way we did against RB Leipzig. Look, at the end of the day, half of these players haven't been played 90 minutes, so they haven't got an excuse. Matic and Pogba should be fresh now. Obviously, the front two, Rashford's getting rested for me. It's not going to happen, but he should. Greenwood on the bench as well. Cavani and Martial up top. Martial, shit form, I understand. A lot of people can say, oh, why is Martial playing with a Greenwood? I get that. So I won't be opposed to either or. However, I think Martial and Cavani could complement each other quite a lot. Because I think Martial in space, when he's got the ball, you saw prior to our goal, yes, it was lucky, but Martial actually did really well for the goal. He obviously got the ball in the left wing, drove, had that shot, and that space was vacated because Cavani dragged off the defence. Because of his movement, he got that space for Martial, and I think he'll be able to complement him a lot. And I personally don't think they'll be able to deal with the movement and the midfield, to be honest. Granted, wide areas, West Ham are brilliant in terms of delivery, as I mentioned, so the formation might not work in that sense, so that might be a worry for me. But in terms of midfield battle with that team, Lawless, what do you reckon? Would you be up for that? Because I think we'd win that easily, I'm not going to lie.
You know what? I don't know where this confidence comes from. Like, you sound like the Arsenal fans. Like, you're forgetting all these past games. Like, you're saying that you've been playing team. You could play any team off the park. Where has it been? Where has it been? Why are you ninth?
I'm not saying.
Come on.
No, but to be fair, if you win that game,
why you asking that question for, man?
Nah, but listen, I'll tell you. The reason look, Van der Beek has actually been really, really good. Like, I don't think any United fan will say otherwise. Bruno, to be fair, I don't even need to explain why Bruno. The Pogba thing, right, for me is right. He's just hot and cold at the moment. Like, obviously, he's not in good form, but the quality is there. If you put him in a system that he did against RB Leipzig, this is the midfield that, well, not Matic, but Pogba and Van der Beek against RB Leipzig were absolutely phenomenal. Yeah. And that was our best performance. We won it in the diamond. We beat him 5-0 comfortably in the end. Pogba was brilliant. He picked the ball from deep in drove and got the assist for Greenwood. Since that game, he's not been able to do that. Like, it's like, okay, he's done something fine, he's done something good, and then he's been taken away. And the reason I've got confidence, right, just to answer your question, is if you actually look at our PSG game, we should have won. PSG are a brilliant team. Like, I don't know why people are knocking them. I don't know, all of a sudden, Arsenal fans, they're fucking scraping wins against Mulder, and apparently they can defend against Mbappe and Neymar and Di Maria all of a sudden. Like PSG are a quality team, and somehow people are completely forgetting that. So
yeah, but you're not factoring the fact that you just had a battle with PSG on Wednesday. That's going to come into.
Matic didn't play. Neither did Pogba. Matic and Pogba didn't play. Did Van der Beek play? I can't even remember. Van der Beek didn't play. So them three are fully fresh. They've not played at all. Bruno's the only one that's played. Cavani and Marseille, yeah, they played as well. The defense played. But in terms of the midfield, them 3 players didn't play. So
You're just the midfield, though. Like I'm talking about, the whole team, like so.
The defense is not going to change regardless of what. If you want to, we haven't got any other options in the defense, realistically. So regardless of defense, that's the only defense.
You could have a tired defense. I like it.
Yeah, no, potentially. I'm not denying that. But in terms of midfield, if the plays, it's down to Oli, innit? If he gets him to press you guys, like he did against RB Leipzig, it will force you into errors because you haven't got defense. You haven't got ball playing centre backs. You haven't got players to play at the back. Cresswell's very good to play at the back. I know he is. He clips the ball into the channel really well. But in terms of everybody else, I feel like we can cause you problems. Like Cavani, good engineering. Martial, if he's told to do so, he will press. He showed against RB Leipzig. Pogba, again, he gets labelled lazy, but he showed against RB Leipzig, he's capable of doing that. And then you've got Van der Beek and Bruno that are known for pressing. So for me personally, if you actually played an attacking lineup and we actually pressed, and play that Man United should play, we should win this game. He's not going to play this lineup, and we're probably going to play dog shit, and everything I'm saying is irrelevant. But that's what I personally would do. That's just me. But anyways, let's wrap it. Let's do the score.
Usmaan in, Ollie out, Usmaan in. Ed Woodward, give him the call.
fuck Ed Woodward. I don't want to wait for that prick. But anyways, listen, Kojo, let's see if your scores change. You said 4-1 the other day. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, 2-1.
Oh, we've lost a couple goals, right? Okay.
Yeah. Well, I said 3-1 first. I said if we spin, then it's 4, but we didn't spin. Yeah. So it's 2-1. You know what I said?
Okay, so
I gave you fair warning. I gave you fair warning, man.
Yeah,
that's it. That's the difference between a win or a loss at PSG. 1 goal either way.
Yeah, legit. It's accurate.
No, 1 goal either way.
Yeah,
you said 3-1.
You
won 4-1. Yeah.
Come on, Conja, get with the program.
Come on, we're doing a maths lesson now.
I did quite well in maths as well. Kind of sucks.
Clearly not. Right, Lawless, what's this competition, bro?
I'm sticking with my 2-1 West Ham penalty. Bruno Fernandes, of course. Alès scoring, and Ben Rama gets his first ever West Ham goal.
I think
if he plays.
I can't see Ben Rama scoring, to be fair. He looks like a quality player.
If he can get 90 minutes, he'll have the opportunity.
You know what? No, actually, what I might say, you know what I'm going to say? Forget the Ben Rama. I'm scratching that off. Cresswell, free kick. That's what I'm calling it now. Because De Gea, at the moment, free kick. I don't know what's going on. Seems to be good and everything else at the moment. He's not making many mistakes. But free kicks, he seems suspect. I don't know what's happened. So I'm going to say Cresswell scores a set piece. So I'll give you that one. But I'm going to stick to 2-1 Man United. Personally, don't think that any of the players that I've mentioned will play. I think it'll be what Koji said initially with the 4-2-3-1 with basically the same team that just lost to PSG. Yeah. I think that's what Matic might come in for the height thing.
2-1 Man United, and then Ollie's back at the wheel.
No.
Ollie's never back at the wheel unless he wins the league and slaps Liverpool.
Let's forget that was even a thing. Let's just forget that.
Listen, I'm not wrapping it.
We'll never forget.
Drop a like, subscribe to the channel. As always, make sure you show love to the other guys. As I said, I've put the link down below in the description. Go and check out the preview we did on West Ham Fans TV. Thank you very much, as always, to our guests. Kojo, you can find him on 3 midfield. And what other podcasts, Kojo? Where we at? Which ones are we at the moment?
FS Uncut /Footy Says, and any other one, because like I said, I'm the podcast host.
Obviously, as you guys already know, Lawless is featured on West Ham Fan TV. Make sure you check him out on the watch along, especially if we're winning, because I can ensure you he's going to be really happy. Listen, thank you for coming on. Make sure you show their channel love as well. It's been your host, Usmaan. Peace.